Hello, Captains. This is the Doctor, and welcome to another Star Trek Online video. As of this recording, I am on the eve of the Season 13 Escalation being launched in the game. By the time you see this video, Season 13 Escalation will be released in the game most likely. So I'm sure you all want to get into that real quickly and see what there is that's brand new, see what there is to play, and do all that. I am definitely curious myself. In this video, we're going to go over some of the news that has come up since my last news video that will give us a little bit more information about Season 13 and what to expect, some new things in the game and so forth. There's a lot to cover here, so I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly. You can, of course, go to StarTrekOnline.com on the news page and read all this information yourself as well to get more informed. And there will most likely be more news items to come once Season 13 is actually launched. So if there are relevant news items, I will make another updated news video to give you information about that. If you are not familiar with the announcement of Season 13 in Star Trek Online, go back a couple of videos on my news videos for Star Trek Online, and you will see where the announcement was, where I showed that announcement from the news pages. So if you want to check out, my series here on the news videos for Star Trek Online, you'll catch that a couple of videos back. But let's get into this right now because there is a lot to cover, and I want to get through this. Obviously, we know Season 13 is going to be called Escalation, and we know that it is coming Tuesday, April 25th, which, as I said, as of this recording, this is the night before, so most likely you'll see this video very close to the time Escalation actually goes live. Maybe I might be able to publish it right before it's released, so that will give you some information to get you excited for Season 13. But here we go. There's a new wallpaper that they have released. It says here, Season 13 Escalation will take captains deep into a brand new mystery surrounding the Lucari and the looming threat of the Zenkethi. To celebrate its imminent launch, Star Trek Online is proud to debut the new art for Season 13 and to give you some new wallpaper for your computers. So this is the new art. Let's make this big. Check that out. This is the new art for Season 13, or wallpaper you can use on your computer or for other means. I absolutely love this. I'll be making this the thumbnail for my videos on Season 13 because this is just absolutely beautiful. I like what I see here. We've got a Lucari triangle ship here. We've got, not sure quite what Federation ship that is there. Looks like Zenkethi. Maybe these are the Zenkethi. This might be that new privateer stuff I was hearing about. And this city back here, cityscape, not sure what this is about, but I guess we'll find out. Could be a lot of things. So I look forward to that. But I like this art quite a bit. I think it looks really good for this season. So looking forward to that. I will definitely be using that as well. We got a new featured episode coming. This, of course, seems to be the norm now, that they release one new featured episode with every season. This one is called Mirrors and Smoke, and I'm guessing it's going to continue the Lucari storyline. Let's read about it here. They got kind of a story going on here. Are you certain? Run the scans again. Kumakari set alert in her captain's chair. Captain, I've scanned it 3 times and double-checked the data each of those times. There's no doubt in my mind at this point. Bacall, chief science officer of the LSS Raskava, excitedly gave his report to his superior. I'm not going to read all of this. Not sure how much of the storyline this gives away, but I recommend you guys come here and read this, or you can pause the video and read the whole thing. I'm going to read it myself. I just don't want to read it all right this second. But it says here, with the threat of the Zenkethi looming overhead, a new mystery presents itself. On Tuesday, April 25th, experience our latest featured episode, Mirrors and Smoke, and discover the secrets of the Gonkra Nebula. Mirrors and Smoke comes out with Season 13 Escalation and continues our New Frontiers storyline. It includes great rewards that you can earn over the course of several weeks. For a limited time, Mirrors and Smokes will be available to all players level 10 and up. Romulan players must have selected a faction. After this, it will be in our normal mission journal progression. So you probably will want to read this prior to playing the mission. Might give you some background there. Again, I will read it myself in a little bit here. So I am looking forward to this new mission. Mirrors and Smoke, and I will also be recording a video on it, my first playthrough, when it is released on Tuesday, and that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And it's interesting because it does seem that the whole Sela thing we just had with the new featured episode Survivor seems to be a one-off kind of side mission thing in a way, because it has nothing to do with the Lucari storyline that we're playing now. So it's interesting that they released a side, I guess you would call it literally a side episode, a side featured episode, because it's not in line with the main storyline at the moment. However, it does fit with the main storyline in its progression. It just has nothing to do with the Lucari storyline that we're currently in with Season 12 or Season 13. So that was interesting. That's something they've never done before, kind of a totally separate mission, not related to the main storyline that you're currently in that season. It's a little different, but I like it. I hope they do more of that kind of thing, actually. So anyway, looking forward to Mirrors and Smoke. That should be fun to play. I will, of course, make a video on it. We've got one of these new queue things here. This is War Games queue called Twin Tribulations. Following the success of the Arena of Sompek training initiative, the Alliance has set up further exercises to prepare its captains for the oncoming challenges that await them. These new war game scenarios will pit teams of captains against each other in trials of speed, strength, and ingenuity. Twin Tribulations is a space-based 5x5 or 5 versus 5 gauntlet class wargame scenario. In a gauntlet class scenario, captains will not be engaging in direct battle with the opposite team, but racing against them to solve puzzles and defeat enemies. Twin Tribulations pits two squads of captains. Pits two squads of captains will in a race to be the first team to reach the finish line in a hollow constructed version of the station of the Omega Leonis system. Various Alliance enemies will be hollow represented within the scenario to practice solving challenges under duress. The Alliance is concerned with puzzle solving and team building in this scenario, so captains will not be finding themselves in a direct battle with the opposite team. This queue is designed for level 50 to 60 players of all factions with normal, advanced, and elite versions. Both queues will also reward marks, dilithium, and R&D materials. Check out the Twin Tribulations queue when it goes live with Season 13. So I'm not sure how this is going to work out, because we all know how pugs go in Star Trek Online. Very, very iffy. So I'm not sure how well this will work out, but I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to try it out. So we'll see how that goes. There's a new Privateer lockbox. As exploration efforts reveal new dangers, the Alliance is expanding its research and development focus to meet and overcome these challenges. These scientific efforts often go beyond studies of the tech used by Alliance member states. Researchers are actively studying the tech of non-member groups and cultures, such as the Merodorn. Even the tech of a species long thought lost, the Hushnok, has been examined in detail. As new developments and advancements are discovered, the results are made available to the captains of the ships on the frontier. So these privateer ships, I guess, are ships that are non-members of the Federation, but technology that's been learned or studied from them and integrated into starship design. So that's definitely a new take on starships, a new way to get different kinds of starships into the game for players. There are a lot of gadgets and tools in Star Trek The Next Generation that belong to no particular faction, but nevertheless are very intriguing. These new Privateer lockboxes embodies a core universal factionless theme that contains ships, weapons, kit modules, and traits. We felt that grouping together a lockbox around non-faction and one-off tech from The Next Generation would make for some interesting new gadgets for players to use. With the 30-year anniversary of Star Trek The Next Generation approaching, the timing of the Privateer lockbox couldn't have been better. Yeah, I'm sure that wasn't planned. Obviously that was. So this is all based around Star Trek The Next Generation one-off tech that we saw in episodes of TNG. Very interesting. So nothing from Voyager, nothing from DS9. This is all going to be TNG era stuff, or stuff from those episodes, which I guess there's a lot of material there to pull from for sure. Interesting nonetheless. I remember the Hushnak. That was an episode where that alien was on the planet and everyone was lost, and we heard about that. We heard about them. The Merodorn kind of sound familiar, but I can't remember where they're from. The Privateer Lockbox's grand prize is a Merodorn Theta class heavy raider. The Miradorn, I think I'm probably saying that wrong. I think it's Miradorn now that I look at it. The Miradorn specialize in nimble, fast-striking starships. This small vessel can stand up to other large ships in battle thanks to a potent weapon suite and proprietary electronic baffling technology. It's so baffling that can blind enemy sensors and knock their engines offline. The Miradorn Theta class heavy raider comes equipped with the Miradorn sensor baffler. These names, I'll tell you, they come up with these names. They make them up, and sometimes they're kind of funny. It's a baffler, the Miradorn sensor baffler, which provides a passive boost to critical hit chance and defense. When this console's ability is activated, your starship will release a powerful electromagnetic pulse that will placate nearby foes, preventing them from being able to attack you, as well as knocking their enemies offline. Also, you will gain a critical hit chance and critical hit severity bonus for a short time. Additionally, any flanking damage buffs you receive from intel flanking or raider flanking is increased. After reaching level 5 in your Miradorn Theta class heavy raider tier 6, you will unlock the advantageous positioning starship trait. I guess it's advantageous. While the starship trait is slotted, your weapons have increased armor penetration while attacking your target's rear arc, but only their rear arc. Okay, interesting. Captains may also purchase the Hushnak warship tier 6. I know I'm saying that right. It's not Husnak, it's Hushnak. That's how he said it in the episode, the Hushnak. Hushnak warship tier 6 from the low-buy store. The Hushnak warship comes equipped with the heavy particle emitter array universal console. When this ability is activated, it will fire a burst of particle beams at its target. Particle beams deal electrical damage and bypass a portion of the target's shields. The heavy particle emitter array will gain 1 charge every 30 seconds for a maximum of 4 charges. Activating the ability will consume all charges. Additionally, particle beam damage increases with each charge consumed. After achieving level 5 in your Hushnak warship, you will unlock the Directed Energy Flux Starship trait. While slotted, activating any temporal operative bridge officer ability, or the Directed Energy Modulation ability will boost the damage of cannon rapid fire, surgical strikes, and reroute reserves to weapons for a short time. Oh, look at those things. I remember those things, the Echopapas. Alright, that's pretty cool. A special console can be acquired from the Privateer Lockbox as well, the Defensive Drone Guardian's Universal Console. When activated, 4 Guardian drones will follow the player's ships for 60 seconds, actively shooting disruptor weapons at any enemy within 5 kilometers. These drones are specifically built to utilize fire at will for the entirety of their lifespan before burning out. It also features a passive cooldown reduction on all bridge officer abilities and an increase to flight speed and maneuverability. I like, I don't know. I don't know what I like. Some of this stuff is not very appealing to me, but maybe it will be to you. These Echopapas, I remember that episode. There are many other prizes within the Privateer Lockbox. We've got a holographic deceiver. Deploys a holographic deceiver in the form of Ardra. Wow. I remember that episode, Ardra, which taunts nearby enemies. The deceiver generates a damaging feedback pulse, causing portions of damage to reflect back at attackers. I'm guessing that's a kit module. That's a ground kit module. Stabilized Folded Space Transporter. Activating the Stabilized Folded Space Transporter will quickly relocate the captain into an advantageous position behind the target. Upon arrival, you will gain enhanced critical chance and severity for a brief period. Wow, so you can literally just auto-transport behind your enemy. That's kind of cool. The Echopapa drone system. Here we go. Activates the Echopapa 6017 drone system. Each drone that is destroyed sends combat information back to the system controller. As long as the system is active, a new enhanced drone will replace the fallen one until the drone has reached a perfected state. The system is active for 60 seconds and then given a forced cooldown due in large part to the Minosian incident of 2364. Cool. Each drone is equipped with a primary disruptor beam. After Mark II, drones gain a secondary wide-angle beam. After Mark III, drones gain a stasis field. Every mark up to a maximum of Mark V progression increases the power of the unit's primary and secondary attacks. That's pretty clever to devise a system like that with this. And that's a kit module, too. So it's very interesting that they, put such effort into something like that. That's pretty cool. I would like to see those in action, actually. That's pretty complex system there. Some new weaponry here. Additionally, we've got new ground and space weapons. This box contains weapons that utilize advanced disruptor technology powered by Krieger waves. Oh, wow. I remember that. Ground weapons use a special converter that has a chance to transfer its excessive power to your kit modules to increase kit readiness and performance. Space disruptors are powered from a Krieger wave converter, resulting in a unique disruptor that has the potential to enhance a ship's systems involved in drain and control abilities. Opening this pack will give a choice between a random beam, cannon, or ground weapon. We've got new traits. We've got Punch It, Starship trait. When you suffer damage below 50% shield strength, an emergency response is triggered. Nearby enemy combatants within 5 kilometers will have their engines and weapons knocked offline. We've got Recycled Power Conduits. While this trait is slotted, activating a Control Bridge Officer ability will reduce your target's auxiliary and weapon power levels. We've got a Parting Gift. While this trait is slotted, Tractor Beam reduces the target's damage resistance and will leave behind a warhead that detonates after a few seconds. Okay, cool. We have new Captain's traits. We've got a ground trait called Spring in My Step. While this trait is slotted, activating a control ability on an enemy will provide a boost to your movement speed. Privateer's Luck. When you take damage while your shields are below 10%, you gain a bonus dodge and immunity to control debuffs. We've got Rogue's Charm. Has a chance to make you briefly untargetable by the enemy who attacks you. Then we have space traits. We've got Fulcrum Shift. While this trait is slotted, activating a controller bridge will provide a boost to your flight speed and turn rate. We got Cyclical Power Capacitors. Each time an energy drain or shield drain bridge ability is activated, you will gain a boost to Starship Drain expertise skills for a short duration. We've got Smuggler's Luck. When a shield facing is at 0 capacity, you gain a defense rating and immunity to control debuffs. So basically, the ground and space traits mirror each other. The Low-Buy store has new stuff as well. We've got the Saboteur's Gambits 3-piece set. Saboteur's Supercharged Universal Console. It routes additional energy to weapons subsystems when any of the target subsystems are knocked offline, increasing your weapon and armor penetration against them. Saboteur Delivery Vehicle Photon Torpedo is based on the concept of a converted Klingon probe once used to deliver an emissary. The Saboteur delivery vehicle is slightly larger than a normal photon torpedo in order to make room for a single occupant with a high-strength locator and precision explosive device. The torpedo acts as a breaching mechanism, allowing for the lone saboteur to infiltrate the enemy ship and attempt to shut down a nearby subsystem before being beamed back to safety. So that's like literally flying somebody into the side of a ship so that they can disable a subsystem, beam them back, and wow, that's quite a dance there just to get somebody on board as a saboteur. You've got a Saboteur's Disruptor Weapon. The Saboteur's Disruptor Weapon is powered by Krieger wave-based technology. As the weapon is fired, an additional spare battery captures some of the residual thermal energy. Once the battery reaches full capacity, it flushes the energy to your ship's subsystems, granting additional power for a short duration. There's a 2-piece set bonus called, it gives you bonus drain and control expertise, and then a 3-piece bonus, which gives you high yields. Saboteur's delivery vehicle is rigged with a time-delayed explosive. Okay, so it adds to the abilities of that torpedo. You've also got combat armor in the Low-Buy store. It provides the wearer with a small amount of resistance in exchange for increased dodge capabilities and kit module utility. Comes equipped with a holographic distraction device that emulates the wearer's appearance, which when activated relocates the wearer and creates a distracting holographic clone. Finally, the privateer outfit is available for captains to purchase and wear. This attire was modeled after the outfit worn by the notorious artifact smuggler Galen during 2370. Okay. So the ship one is actually available now. We'll be looking at that next. So tell me what you guys think of this whole lockbox situation, this privateer lockbox. It's not really something that's up my alley in terms of interest. I like the Echo Papas. That kind of sounds interesting. I'd like to try. I would like to try the these kit modules because I'm always into that. Some new interesting kit, universal kit modules to try out. But mostly everything else on here really doesn't interest me. I kind of like what I got, and this stuff doesn't really appeal to me. But maybe it appeals to a lot of you out there. I don't know. How appealing is this lockbox? I really don't know. Here are the stats, the privateer lockbox stats on the ships. These are the new ships that will be available. Got the Miradorn Theta class Heavy Raider Tier 6. Again, I don't remember who the Miradorn are. I'm going to have to look them up because I do not remember who they are. The Miradorn specialized in nimble, fast-striking starships such as the Theta-class Heavy Raider. The small vessel can stand up to other larger ships in battle thanks to a potent weapon suite and proprietary electronic baffling technology. So it's got a Commander Tactical Pilot Station, Universal Intel Specialist Station. So it's got a lot of unique stations, Pilot and Intel and Universal. It's a lockbox ship, of course. Just kind of looking at it over here. One Commander Tactical / Pilot, one Ensign Universal, one Lieutenant Universal / Intel, and two Lieutenant Commander Universals. Yeah, Intel and Pilot and Universal slots there, so pretty flexible, I guess. 5 Tactical, 2 Engineering, 4 Science. Definitely geared more toward a escorty type of ship. Plus 15 to weapon, engine. We've got improved raider flanking. So yeah, this is a raider. Literally, it says it in the title. It's a raider. So it's got raider flanking on it. Interesting. There's a something. It's firing. I don't know, but it looks interesting. Heavy weapon dual warhead launcher. I guess that's what that is. This starship comes equipped with a dual warhead launcher in its heavy weapon slot. This weapon will fire warheads at your target. Each warhead will explode upon impact, dealing heavy kinetic damage. It may be upgraded like a standard weapon, swapped out for another heavy weapon, and placed in any other starship's heavy weapon slot. So yeah, we've got that whole new heavy weapon slot coming to ships as well. The Miradorn sensor baffler, we kind of went over that already on the last page. You can see all the stats for that here. I'm not going to go over all of this. There's a lot to go over here, but there's all the stats and everything on that. Then we got the Hushnok warship. Though the Hushnok were eradicated as a species in 2366, their home planet and star system remained, along with everything in it, even starships. Alliance engineers have taken recovered Hushnok warships and restored them to operational capacity. These massive vessels are well armed and can withstand a great deal of punishment in combat engagements. So these have also a Commander Tactical / Temporal Operative Specialist Bridge Officer seat and Lieutenant Science Commander Specialist Bridge Officer seat. That's interesting that they have Temporal Operative seating. Hushnok warships are capable of making subtle alterations on the molecular level through the use of molecular reconstruction. So these are temporal ships. I don't know why. I don't remember that the Hushnok were a temporally aware species like that, but maybe they were. I don't remember, honestly, what was said about them in the episode. Or maybe this is all just made up. I don't know. But they've apparently given them temporal operative seating and that molecular deconstruction beam, which is part of temporal ships. Only temporal ships have that molecular deconstruction beam. And this ship's going to have it. So does that make it a temporal ship? I mean, in a way it does. Tier 6, low buy store. 1 commander tactical / temporal operative, 1 ensign engineering, 1 lieutenant commander engineering, 1 lieutenant science command, 1 lieutenant command universal. So it's got a lot. It's got a temporal seating and command seating. Okay. 5 tactical, 4 engineering, 2 science. So even though it can take a beating, at least it says it can, it's still more of a tactical aligned ship because it's got a commander tactical seating on it. And it's got the tactical ability package as well. Yeah, interesting. Okay. And it has a lot of things associated with it as well. The heavy particle focus array, which we already talked about, and the starship trait. So there's all the stats on it. So basically we're getting 2 more tactical aligned ships here. 2 different ones that are more for tactical characters, in my opinion. At least looking at the stats, simply because they have a commander tactical station. Of course, you can use them with any career type, but I tend to look at it like commander tactical station means better for a tactical officer, commander engineering station better for engineering career, and then of course commander science station better for science career. That's just keeping things pure, but you know, a lot of people like to mix it up, so it's really no problem. But when I look at this, I see both of these ships more as a tactically aligned ship. Their starship package, their ability package, is also the escort one that you get. So they're more escorty type ships. Although this one may not be so maneuverable, but it's still like it's still an escorty type of ship, still for like a tactical player. Anyway, that's how I see them both. But really, none of them interest me. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I think this whole privateer lockbox and privateer ships is absolutely boring. That's my opinion, and you may disagree with me. That's fine. But I'm looking at this and I'm saying boring. I'm saying that I probably am going to skip all these things. I'm not going to spend the resources to get this kind of stuff. I just don't find any appeal to that. Now I've probably made a lot of you sad or upset one way or another. If you're still tuned into this video and watching, here's what's coming in the patch for tomorrow. We've got the new featured episode, Mirrors and Smoke. So I'm looking forward to playing that. Travel with Kumaraki to the planet of New Kintar and defend it from the Zenkethi. It can be played at 10 or higher, so I'm looking forward to that. We've got the War Game Scenario Core Assault. It's a new style of queue where players train against the environment and themselves in a cross-faction 5v5 space war game scenario. We've also got Binary Circuit, which is another one of those new things. We've got the competitive wargame Reputation. Don't forget, there's a whole new Reputation to grind. So looking forward to seeing what's going to be available in that. We've got the space balance changes. Now, this is a biggie right here. A lot of people are talking about these space balance changes, and a lot of people are freaking out over them. I hear a lot of talk about these in the DPS channels. In fact, because of these space balance changes, there have been official DPS channel changes. I think the 10K and 30K are going to stay the same, but 50K and up are going to like reorganize. It's going to be a lot different, and you'll have to like reapply to those higher tiered DPS channels with the new space balance changes. So they're fearing that this is really going to change your DPS quite a bit. Maybe so, I don't know. Even if the DPS is changed, it still doesn't mean that you're going to have a bad experience in the game. So I think we need to not freak out right now and just kind of see how this all plays out. Because I guarantee you people are still going to figure out how to make really good builds in the game, even with the balance changes. People are still going to make good builds. Those builds will be shared. People will learn what works and what doesn't. and people will still have a good time in the game. There may be a bit of readjusting for those that are DPS fiends, where you actually absolutely have to have the highest DPS and so forth, and yeah, you may have to change, but it's that should be the fun part of it, right? Trying to figure out what works best, and doing that and getting to that point should be fun. It is a game after all, so if you're not having fun in the game, then just stop playing. For the regular folks that just play the game to play the game, play the missions, go through the main mission storyline, maybe don't even do in-game stuff, don't even do STFs and all that. I don't think that those people will be affected at all. I think the gameplay is still going to be fun, it's still going to be the same, and as long as they balance out the enemy damage, then it should work out okay. I remember a time in this game when battle was difficult, and it was not easy, even on normal mode. There used to be a time that basically you really didn't do a lot of damage, and it took a long time to wear down the enemy. And especially on ground has gone through several updates since this game has been out in the 7 years. Several updates. The first iteration of ground combat in this game was long and tedious. I mean, we had to, as I played an engineer, for example, and I mean, I remember having to set up, force field, like playing with the Borg, for example, playing the actual, just the storyline missions that had Borg in them. You had to set up force field domes to keep the Borg away from you, because they would really do a number on you. Force field domes would keep the Borg from getting near you. They would hit the dome and bounce off, and you had to actually set up a little bunker. As an engineer, you would set up a shield and a healer thingy, and you would set up a bunker. You would set up your mortar and your turret, and that stuff was actually needed. I mean, you really had to set yourself up and wear the enemy down. So ground combat has changed a ton in this game. Now you can just kind of blow through everything real easy on ground, and that's kind of the same way space has become too. It's become to the point where you can just blow through everything real easy, especially the mission content. But it didn't used to be that way. It did used to be a little bit harder, and maybe they're going back to that. I mean, that would actually be a good thing in my opinion, because I think sometimes the game can be a little too easy. It needs a little bit more difficulty in my personal opinion. But even so, I think people will get along with these balance changes. People will figure it out, and you'll still have fun. I think most people won't even notice the difference. It's just the people who are looking for that difference that will notice it. But we'll see what happens. I'm not too worried about it, because I've seen this stuff in the game change over time. 7+ years in the game, I've seen it go through many balance changes, and people came out okay on the other side just fine. We figured it out and still had fun. So that's the key. That's always the key in this game. Have fun. If you're not having fun, then get out. Here's some other things. We are going to get a free skill respect token to all characters upon login. So see, they are thinking about us. We are going to get to respec our stuff. That's awesome. A free respec. How can you deny that? So it's one thing to do balance changes, but it's another thing to not give us the ability to change our skills based on those balance changes. But here they are. They're giving us the ability to change our skills based on the new balance changes. That's very generous of them. Good for that. That was a good move. That should make a lot of people happy. Delta Quadrant mission changes. Remove the Kobali Adventure Zone missions from the mission journal and replace them with 3 wrapper missions titled Kobali Crisis Act 1, 2, and 3, which contained the removed missions. Okay, that's a bit different for me. I liked the Kobali Adventure Zone missions, to be honest with you. I really did. And I'm not sure how that's going to play out in the overall arc of playing the game now, playing the missions and how they're laid out. I'll have to see what that's like. That's a big change, so that's something to note. Delta patrols are no longer required for mission progression, but do remain in the game. Now that to me is a bit of a letdown. Even though there were a lot of patrols in the Delta Quadrant missioning, I actually enjoyed that. It reminded me of the old days when they had patrols as missions. That's right. Patrols used to be a mission. You would gain a mission from your contact, and it would say, go patrol these 3 planets, right? These 3 systems. And then you would go patrol those 3 systems, and then you would turn it in as a mission and get an overall XP reward and so forth. I liked that. I did not like it when they took it away from the game. I think that took away from the game, literally. It took something away from the game when they did that. It took away that randomness that patrols provide. You know, the regular mission story in this game is one thing, and it's great. But the randomness of the patrols broke that up and made it feel like there were other things to do in the game. It made it feel like the game was broader. It was wider. It wasn't just the storyline, but it was like there were other things. Because if think about it, Federation, Klingon, whatever faction, they're always doing something else. They're always doing something different in the TV series. They're always, giving aid to somebody. Even if they don't make an episode about it, it's always off screen. They're giving aid to somebody. They're, helping somebody figure out a cargo scam or cargo something or some kind of diplomatic agreement or whatever. There's little side things, or they're just going to a planet and scanning new things. And that's one thing I liked about those patrols is they had that mixed stuff in it. Like you could literally, one patrol could be you just go to a planet and scan 5 alien pods and you're done. It's not a lot, but it's random and it's so Star Trek. It's so exploration. It's so what we would imagine Star Trek to be like. And, if you were actually living Star Trek, you would go and do assignments like that where you just go to a planet and you scan a strange alien device and then you're just done. And the patrols had that stuff in it. And so I did not like it when they removed it from the missioning. And now it sounds like they're doing the same with the Delta patrols. They're removing it from the missioning, which means people are going to miss those. New people that play the game and go through the mission storyline are not going to experience those patrols anymore as missions and may miss them altogether, not even know they're there. That's what's happened with the old patrols in the game. People don't even know they're there. Since there's no mission linking them, you only know if a patrol is there if you fly upon that planet and it says patrol so-and-so planet. And that's what's going to happen to these Delta patrols, and I don't like that because I like the patrols. I am one that really feels the patrols help build out the game. It's that extra stuff, the extra fluff that fills in the pockets of this game, and it's needed. So I don't like that they've done that. Let's see what else we got here. Experience requirements from levels 50 to 60 have been lowered. Okay. Level 50 to 60 NPC scaling. We have tuned down the hit point and damage scaling modifier curve for NPCs past level 50, though they will still reach close to the same point at level 60. This means that levels 51 through 54 will have a very dramatic shift downward, but the general NPC difficulty will still ramp up as players close in on level 60. I'm not sure how that, again, is going to work out in playthrough unless I play through it and figure that out. I'll have to roll a new character to do that, I guess. New UI has been implemented to the PvE system. I guess that was coming, associated with the new Wargames stuff. Updated the window which appears when opening a lockbox. Resolved an issue that was causing Mark 13 and higher Starship shields to drop to unexpectedly low capacity values. Editing a comment on the fleet roster is now done through a pop-up. Resolved an issue where the tailor would not recognize a name change. Removed level restrictions from all armor items purchased from the low-buy store and added information to these items. 23rd century captains can now display their ship's registry number. The progress tab of the status UI now shows players' current amount of fleet credits and their lifetime fleet credits earned total. The reward cooldowns UI now shows the bonus competitive mark timer, and a new logon screen has been added. And a whole bunch of system changes too. Look at all this. All engineering consoles that previously gave plus kinetic and plus energy damage resistance rating now give a plus all damage resistance rating. All consoles that gave plus kinetic damage now give plus physical. The modifier that impulse engines gain at epic quality now additionally gives impulse expertise. The secondary deflectors in the research lab are now sold with 4 modifiers and only gain the epic modifier when upgraded to epic. The amount of shield regeneration increased shield emitter amplifier console provided has been increased. The amount of starship hull restoration SIF generators provided has been increased. The Dilithium store has a new section, Account Starship Trait Unlocks, available to players of level 50 or higher. If the player owns a starship on the player's account that grants a trait on the list below, the characters on the player account that are the incorrect faction to fly that starship will be able to instead claim a box containing an unlock for that trait for free. Okie dokie. Carrier pets, a lot of changes there. I'm not even going to go over all of that, but you surely can if you want to. Reputation system, all reputations now sort their projects in the same order. A whole bunch of changes here. I'm just kind of glancing over this to see what's majorly different. All appear in the following order. So some kind of ordering change here with all these reputation systems. That's going to be interesting to see what things we can spot here. Whole lot of things here. I mean, I can't even go over all this. It's just too much, but surely you can look at these updates and see for yourself if anything affects you. And then here's all the power changes. There's no way I'm going to go through all of this in this video today because look at all those power changes. I'm still scrolling. Look at this, guys. Look at that. There you go. That's the power changes that everybody is concerned about. And it is a lot of changes. I don't want to throw this under the rug and say this is a small thing. This is a big change. I just don't know how it really is going to affect people or if they're even going to notice. Especially if you're just playing the game to play the game, you know. I'm not really sure what this is going to do, but major mechanics changes. Captain's ability changes. Holy crap. Yeah, there's no way I can read all this. I'm going to have to go through this on my own off camera here and general updates, see what's new, but holy crap. There's no way I can remember all of this either. I'm just going to have to see what is. Because I don't know. Man, look at all this. And there are some known issues. PvP has been disabled. Foundry function will be unavailable. The new Q Twin Tribulations will not be available at the launch of Escalation. Oh. We are making updates based on player feedback from its recent launch on Tribble. Oh, I see. So Twin Tribulations won't be available yet, but it will in the future. I like that they are making changes based on player feedback. That is a good thing. The Kobali Adventure Zone map incorrectly labels the level range of the zones. Core Assault. In Room 2, if Simon Says is the puzzle type, the player will see a message stating that they have made the wrong choice after making the right choice. Seems like a pretty big problem to me. Enemies do not despawn when the queue is completed, and elite queues are currently unavailable. Maybe they should hold off on Core Assault too until it's ready. Seems like they're putting out a very buggy Core Assault. Because it says here in Room 2, you can see a message stating that you made the wrong choice after making the right choice. Well, that seems like a pretty major bug to me. I would pull this thing back. And then it says elite queues are going to be unavailable anyway, and enemies do not despawn when the queue is completed. Sounds to me like they need to take Core Assault offline until it's ready too. They are knowingly releasing a very buggy Core Assault. So just keep that in mind. This is the level that we get with Cryptic sometimes. That kind of makes me really mad. Because when they know there's so many game-breaking bugs and still release the thing, that's what makes me upset. They know there's game-breaking bugs here in Core Assault, and they are releasing this knowing there's these known issues. See, if it were me, a smart person, I would hold off on releasing Core Assault along with Twin Tribulations. I would take that offline, say, okay, we'll release it at a later date when we actually fix the bugs, and not give you a buggy Core Assault. Well, that would be nice. The whistle sound for when a queue match is ready plays twice. Well, that's going to be annoying. When the player opens the new PvE queue UI for the first time only, the categories will be out of order. Close the window and reopen to resolve this. So they're also releasing the UI with a pretty major bug. Categories will be out of order unless you close it and open it again. And nobody's going to know to do that. Nobody's going to know it's going to be out of order. They're going to think that's the order it should be in when they open it for the first time. That to me also says that's a big bug, and maybe they should hold off on that until, you know, fixing the bug and then releasing it. But nope, got to release these things with bugs, apparently. That's what I don't like. I mean, I understand bugs happen, but hold your crap off. Back off on it. Hold off. And release it once the bugs are fixed. Could that possibly happen maybe one day? That would be a miracle, wouldn't it? So that's what we're getting, folks. That's Season 13. That's upon us. Literally, I think I will be posting this video before Season 13 is launched. So hopefully you guys will see some of this information and will know what to expect. I can tell you that I like some of what I'm hearing in Season 13, and some of it concerns me, and some of it just has me bored. So I'll just have to see which parts of that are match with what parts of that is. That didn't make any sense. But what I'm trying to say is I will have to see what parts for me are the boring parts, what parts for me are the fun parts, and what parts for me just don't have me interested. So we will see what happens. I'm looking forward to some of it for sure, but there is some of it that I really am probably not even going to give the time of day, just simply because I don't have the time of day to give to it or the resources to give to it. Like the privateer lockbox, there's so many other lockboxes I haven't even opened yet, and it's hard to do lockboxes because you need keys. You need lots of keys, and those are expensive, and I don't have any energy credits. So, yeah, that's kind of hard to do. So I can't really keep up with those lockboxes, and there's no way I'm going to be able to get like everything in them to try them out. The best hope I can have of doing anything with a lockbox is going to be like getting the ships if I can to, you know, review them, and maybe the universal kit modules. Looking forward to that stuff. The other stuff probably not going to worry about. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Season 13. I can't say I'm extremely excited about it. I was extremely excited about the previous seasons, especially with all the temporal stuff lately. I mean, that really tickled my fancy. But this one here, the privateer stuff, the more this new combat system stuff, I don't know, where these war games and stuff, I don't know that I'm going to like that. I mean, maybe I will. Maybe I'll completely change my mind once I play them. But up front, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm not very excited about it. I'm not really excited about it. I hope that doesn't upset some of you because, you know, I'm a real fan of this game, and will continue to make videos about it, as many as I can. But some of the stuff in Season 13 just seems a little too much almost. You know, I've already made that complaint that I think there's too many queues, too many STF queues in the game as there are. There's not enough people to play them all. People play the new ones that come out, and then the old ones, you know, if you go and look in the queue, nobody plays the old STFs anymore. You can't hardly get in a pug anymore with an STF because people aren't playing them. There's just a select few that people play a lot, and there's too many and not enough players, not enough interest to play the old ones. So I think they just keep piling on more queues. Now we've got these war games, just more of this stuff, but not enough people to play it. I mean, I'm sure there will be initially. I'm sure for the first few weeks there'll be a lot of people playing this stuff, but mark my words, give it a month or two, especially after people get their reputation ranked up, and that those things will start dying off, because I've seen it happen a lot in this game. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I got it all wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm just very tired right now. But that is my depressingly Star Trek Online Season 13 news of the day. So thank you for watching. If you remain throughout this whole video, bless you, because I know that I have not been the most positive person today. And so it is what it is, I suppose. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I will definitely be making a video about what's new in Star Trek Online Season 13 when it's released. I'll be making a video showing you all the wonderful things you can do with Season 13, and then I will be making a video playing the new featured episode. And then after that, I'm going to play some of the other things myself and see if I like them or not and make videos about them. So, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.